This is what I do when I have old bread at home. Starting my recipe, I'll begin by pouring 500 milliliters of room temperature milk over 3 slices of bread cut into rounds. Go ahead and leave a comment letting us know where you're watching from so we can send you a big hug in the next video. I've already poured all the milk here, and now with a tong, I'll pick them up and place them into my blender. Now I'll cover my blender and blend everything very well. Alright folks, I've blended the bread and milk very well. Now I'll add 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, 395 grams. I'll also add 3 eggs. And now I'll add 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. Now I'll cover the blender again and blend everything very well. Alright folks, I've blended everything perfectly, and now I'll set this mixture aside. Now, in this frying pan, I'll put 1 cup of sugar. I'll turn the heat to low and let this sugar turn into a delicious caramel. Folks, this recipe, besides being very easy to make, is absolutely delicious. Every time I make it at home, my entire family and friends love it. The aroma from the pot during the preparation already makes everyone's mouth water. Alright folks, the sugar has melted perfectly. I'll turn off the heat and pour everything into this mold. Now, with a spatula, I'll spread the caramel around the edges of the mold. I've spread all the caramel around the mold, and now I'll pour this mixture into it. Alright folks, I've poured everything in, and now I'll cover the entire mold with aluminum foil. The aluminum foil will help with the cooking process. I've covered it well, and now I'll set it aside. Now I'll add hot water to this pot. I'm using hot water to speed up the cooking process. Now I'll add a bit of vinegar so the mold doesn't turn black. Now I'll place the mold inside the pot. I'll cover the pot and let it cook for 30 minutes. Alright folks, my pudding is ready. Now I'll remove all the aluminum foil. Now I'll refrigerate it until it's nice and cold. Alright folks, my pudding is chilled perfectly. Now, with the help of a plate, I'll flip it over and wait for it to release from the mold. Look at this folks, and here is the result of this delicious pudding. Leave a comment and rate this delicious recipe from 0 to 10. Take the opportunity to share this video with all your family and friends so they can also make this delicious recipe. Make it at your home, and I'm sure you'll love it too. This pudding is simply wonderful, with a creamy texture that melts in your mouth. It's amazing how such a simple recipe can turn into something so sophisticated and delicious. The homemade caramel adds a special touch, making the pudding even more irresistible. This dessert uses simple ingredients and turns them into a sweet treat worthy of a bakery. This pudding is a delicious way to avoid waste and make good use of old bread. Enjoy your meal.